Evangelical pastor, TV, and radio host Rick Wiles last week, at the end of last week, got on the air and actually encouraged Donald Trump to use all of his available power, both political power and firepower, to start murdering protesters here in the United States. And no, folks, that is not hyperbole. That is not an exaggeration of what Rick Wiles said. So here, take a look and listen for yourself to what Rick Wiles, an alleged Christian, said Trump should do to these protesters. Take a look.
Mr. Meadows, please tell President Trump that he is now in possession of the bomber bullets. 2 billion bomber bullets. You're in possession of them now. You got the bomber bullets. And you can put down the the insurrection. You can put it down. You have the bomber bullets in your hands. And you don't have to tolerate this anymore. They were purchased for the purpose of putting down an insurrection. Well, you got one. So put the hollow point bullets to good use and get out there and put down this communist revolution so the rest of us could live our lives peacefully.
I don't think it gets any more clear than that. Rick Wiles, an alleged man of God, who is a total fraud, by the way. If you're a man of God, you don't call for other innocent people to just be straight up murdered by the President of the United States, or by anyone, really. It doesn't matter who they're saying should murder somebody. You don't do that if you're actually a man of God. But Rick Wiles straight up told the President of the United States, told his Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, get those hollow point bullets and put them to use. That's crazy. That is inciting violence. Somebody needs to go and shut Rick Wiles down and put him in jail. This is not okay. This is not legal. You cannot call for murders here in the United States. I'm sorry that maybe you don't agree with the protesters. That just puts you on the wrong side of history, and you would have been fine to stay there. But when you openly call for murdering them, this alleged insurrection, as you're calling it, this is not an insurrection. Nobody's trying to overthrow any government at all. That's not happening, folks. It truly is not. Despite what you may read in conservative media, despite what their crazed headlines might read, they're trying to make this into a bigger thing than it actually is, because that's the only thing they have to run on in this election. That's why they're doing that. Not because it's as bad as they say it is, but because they're trying to convince you it is, because that is the only way they think they can win this election. Don't fall for it. Things have gotten bad in some of these cities, yeah, and do you know why? Because Trump sent in his DHS agents, his DHS soldiers, his little stormtroopers, and they made things so much worse. Things were getting better until he sent his people in. That's what the officials in these cities are telling us. They were getting things under control until Trump made it worse intentionally. But anyone out there calling for violence, not just calling for violence, let's call this what it is, calling for murder. Rick Wiles advocated murder against these individuals. This is unacceptable. This is not something you can do here in the United States. And I hope the FBI has already opened up a file into Mr. Wiles for his absurd and irresponsible and criminal behavior in this matter. Right wing.
So that's Rick Wiles. I mean, he talks about how he's scared of the conversation that he thinks he's hearing off of the left. But this is what the left is responding to from his conversation. So accountability must be had. And if Rick Wiles really thinks that he is going to get, what is it, Lord, well done, good and faithful servant, he's not going to get that. He ain't got no crown waiting on him either. So, I mean, I'm just exhausted. I'm tired of listening to people who don't want to listen to themselves. So there you go. Until the next video.